Tonight in The Price of Freedom, the story of Charles Elrod, but he told me most people just call him Chuck. He grew up in North Chattanooga, dreaming of joining the military. At 14, he joined the National Guard. At 17, he joined the Marine Corps, but that was short-lived. A few years later, he joined the Army, and all that is just the very beginning of his military story.
Well, that's where I went to Adjutant General School.
On this wall, in these picture frames, a hero's stories of a lifetime of service.
Another commendation. That's the Joint Chiefs of Staff Medal.
Chuck Elrod served in the Army, got out, but was called back in 1960.
I've got the Bronze Star from Vietnam. I've got meritorious service from working in the Pentagon.
He served under Secretary of Defense Robert McNamara during his time in Washington, D.C.
I worked with an operation when I was in the Pentagon with Secretary of Defense. We were an IG team. We had a covert operation in Vietnam that was classified. And we had an individual that got killed, so I went over and replaced him.
He was in Vietnam, March 1968 to March 1969.
Of course, things we did over is classified, I can't talk about. And, you know, so that's all I can say about that part of it.
He came back from the war, later left Washington, and then went to Alaska to be an advisor to a National Guard unit there.
That's where I got the Soldier's Medal, which is the highest heroic medal you can get for saving lives.
It was 1971. He was driving, and he saw a big group of people.
One 5-year-old fell through in about 60 foot of water, because that's where the big ships come in. 25 degrees. And the 15-year-old brother jumped in after, couldn't swim. And I happened to just come around the corner and people just stand there hollering, not doing anything, so I just ran down, dove in the water, went out and got to 15, brought him back.
He then went back in and rescued the 5-year-old girl.
She was in the water about 15 minutes, and about the same amount of time I was. And life expectancy is only anywhere probably 5 to 8 minutes.
Both children survived.
You know, the military trains you to respond without thinking.
Chuck Elrod retired from the military in 1977, but he learned lessons he carries with him to this day.
I matured. I learned to take care of myself. I learned to be a team player. And I learned what really it was to be able to be an American.
And Mr. Elrod did a lot of interesting things after the military as well. Worked as a guard at a prison, worked at the post office for years, and when he was in his mid-60s, he went to college. Mr. Elrod graduated from Lee University in 2005 and went to work for the Department of Children's Services as a counselor.